experts say DEI is not about hitting diversity hiring quotas, but instead it's an initiative about breaking barriers so all people have the opportunity to thrive in schools and the workforce. And a Washington Post poll shows roughly 6 in 10 Americans actually do approve of companies taking steps to address historic workplace inequities. Joining me now to talk about all this is Dennis Kneale, business journalist and host of the What's Bugging Me podcast. Hello, I know you've got a lot to say about this.
Great to see you.
It just seems like every day a new headline is coming out that another business, another big company is rolling it back.
Right, and the way the media are painting this, it was in your very well-read tease, and it said, oh my gosh, they're being pressured by conservative groups. These big, giant, powerful companies are being pressured by little groups to get off of this, when really these very same big, giant companies were pressured into adopting this DEI, despite the fact that some of them had no problems at all. Now, it did lead to real bad things happening, and that's one reason they're taking a retreat from it. There's the Bud Light case, right? They went too far. It crushed the brand. It lost its #1 ranking. But more than that, Boeing, which has had safety problems, Boeing, which just stranded 2 astronauts at the space station. They were supposed to spend a week there. They're going to be like 7 or 8 months because it can't get them home.
So are you trying to tell me that the astronauts are stuck in space because of DEI, Dennis?
Boeing, 2 years ago, added its compensation executive plan, added diversity and sustainability to what used to always be safety and quality. Companies took their eye off the ball. Now, why'd they do it? It's not because this is the right thing to do and we've been racist. It's because after the George Floyd murder or death, you know, companies wanted to do a good thing. They meant well. But do you know that in the first year after that incident, that terrible tragedy, the top 100 largest companies hired something like, I think it's several 100,000 jobs. Only 4% went to whites, who are 58% of the U.S. population. The rest went to people of color. Okay, you're not hiring based on qualifications. You're hiring now just only for color. Then you look at 3 years, 2023, the top 500 companies, largest, hire something like 3 to 4 million jobs. Net, white unemployment went down more than 900,000 jobs in that time, and all people of color and foreign-born got all of the jobs. That is not because they're the most qualified candidates. That is because companies decided we're going to hire a lot fewer whites, which is exclusionary, not inclusive, the way they promised for DEI.
So I can see where you stand on this for sure, but do you think DEI actually did have a place? It just went too far?
I think addressing racial inequities of the past is a great thing. DEI program went way too far. Even an essay in the New York Times says this. It's one of the most liberal publications in the world, and they said literally, we think that too many of the programs are too ideological and they exacerbate the problems they intend to solve. One other thing, the equity part. Let's remember that America was never about equity, that you get an equal share of the outcome no matter how much work you put in or didn't put in. America was about equality of opportunity. That is what we aim for. If you work hard, you can make it. Kamala Harris used to always talk about equity. The Democrats talked about equity. Now they see the backfire, they're backing off, and you hear Kamala talk about equality and equal opportunity and the opportunity economy, because they know the previous measure that was working is not working.
Yeah, well, let's talk about college campuses and affirmative action and what's going on there. I mean, don't you see a value in having diversity on college campuses and even in the workforce?
Doesn't that question assume that without this DEI, pushed by pressure groups like the Human Rights Campaign, which is bitterly critical of Ford for saying we're no longer going to take part in this survey. How dare they? They're abandoning these people of color. No, they're not. They're not taking part in this interest group survey that makes it important, okay? They're not giving into this extortion anymore. You can do all kinds of things to encourage diversity without having to have a DEI program that tells you white people are bad, that tells you you're racist no matter what, inherently. You know what? Forget about that. Let's focus on real problems and diversity of opinion. Look at what happens on college campuses, and there's no diversity of opinion for letting conservatives speak.
Yeah, very often that does happen, doesn't it?
Right.
Sometimes.
And why are we not worried about diversity in the NFL? Where blacks are 13% of the U.S. population, but in the NFL they're 90%, because that's based on quality and qualification, because they're better. These players on the field are better than other players who didn't make it, no matter what the color. The NFL, in some way, is utterly colorblind.
Well, Dennis Kneale, thank you so much. You can
Just a thought.
catch him. Tell me about your podcast again. Where is it? Are you going to shake my hand?
What's bugging me on Ricochet, Apple, Spotify? It'll change your life.
It'll change your life. All right. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks a
on.
lot for your
Very
time, man.
animated. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.